Welcome to the Beyond the Barn Doors podcast with your hosts, me, Mark Jones.
And me, Archie Collins.
And in this pilot episode, we will be discussing the 2017 RGS production of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, talking through it from page to stage.
The cast and directors will be put through a barn door score where they'll be competing in 2 games to be put on a leaderboard later on against other shows. We'll be joined in discussion this week with the director, Miss Branston, and...
My name is Sophie, and I played Olive Atrosky. Olive Atrosky. I can't remember. It's either Olive Atrosky or Olive. It's like one of them.
I don't know.
I don't know. I played Olive.
My name's Gwen, and I played Rona Lisa Peretti.
I'm Freddie, and I played Leaf Coney Bear.
In an attempt to be at least a little bit educational, here are some of the details on the original performance conditions. Originally adapted from an improvisational play called Crepuscule by Rebecca Feldman. William Finn, musician and lyricist, adapted it with Rachel Sheinkin into a full-length play during a workshopping process in which collaboration between directors, actors and musicians fleshed out the final production. This was previewed in 2004. It premiered on Broadway in 2005 at the Circle in the Square Theatre, and in the same year won Tony Awards for Best Book by Sheinkin and Best Featured Actor for Dan Fogel for his performance as William Barfay. It made its UK premiere at the Donmar Warehouse Theatre in 2011, directed by Jamie Lloyd. It is made up of 25 musical numbers and portrays a fictional spelling bee competition in Putnam County in which 6 student contestants are put against each other in a test of wit, spelling and adventure.
In summary, here is the slap GT of the original performance. Style, musical theatre. Location, the gymnasium of a school in Putnam County. Atmosphere, ecstatic, elated. Period, 21st century. Genre, musical comedy. Themes, growing up, friendship, competition.
Now, me and Archie were both in the RGS production of Spelling Bee. I played Douglas Panch, the spelling master.
And I played Chip Tolentino, one of the spellers. He actually won the Putnam County Bee last year.
Right, okay.
Oh, I'm fully there. I'm fully in the zone.
Starting, what made you originally choose to do the show?
Great question. Mark Jones, Reigate Grammar School. The reason why, it's University Challenge style, I love it. So, oh my God, I'm going to name drop here. I saw the 25th annual Putnam Spelling Bee on Broadway. Thanks very much. 2000 and I'm going to say 8. And I was with my mate Helen, who was an agent, actually, theatrical agent. And we had gone to see another one of our best mates, Tom Atwood, who was performing on Broadway, and he was the musical director for the History Boys. And so he was with Dominic Cooper, James Corden, all of that incredible lot. And I was like, oh my God, an ex-pupil is on Broadway. This is incredible. I can't not go. And it was the History Boys, and it was really cool. So Helen and I flew out to New York, and it was the first time actually, that's not true. It's the second time I've been to New York. But I love it. It's an incredible city. And this show was like the hot ticket. And it had just opened, and they had completely transformed a theatre. I can't remember which one now, but they transformed it and kind of, you went into the theatre and then like down into a basement, and you walked into what was essentially looking like a school gymnasium. And we, actually, this is so name droppy, we got house seats because the company manager from the History Boys wangled them for us in a kind of like, it was a sellout. You couldn't get a ticket because it was rave reviews. And we sat like in the stalls in the best seats in the house, having wangled those for free. We didn't know anything about it. It was the hot ticket. So we did that absolutely awful thing of just going, I don't care. Let's just go. Who cares? Went in and I was like, what am I? I think I'm in a children's party. This is awful. I'm in some appalling, disgusting, like second-rate Greece that, you know, like high school, absolutely disgusting, like people screaming, clapping. It was in the days where there was, oh God, all the characters were like coming around and interacting. I was like, oh, absolute carnage. Get that away in a right old grump. I was like, this looks too trashy. It looks too teenage. It just looks, I'm an intellectual snob. I don't want trash. I want something really demanding and challenging. And then I literally howled with laughter for the whole thing. I was just transfixed. It was the guy, now I can't remember his name, Jesse something, played the original, he's a guy in Modern Family that's married to Mitch. That's really helpful.
Well, no idea.
I think I know.
Like red hair. Archie, do you know who I mean?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, he was Leaf in
Yes, great.
Yeah.
He played,
character.
Oh my God, it was hilarious. And he was astonishing. I mean, he stole the show for me, actually. But then two of them, I think, then won Tony Awards. The parts that Maroney and Sophie played. And the whole show just kind of like swept the board. And so I didn't realise I was in a hit. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was like all the best shows. It worked on so many levels and was so meta. I thought, oh my God, if you're 10, you could totally love this because you just like some of the slapstick and a little bit of the comedy, and you'd like a little few of the comedy gags of the wordplay. But then, of course, all of the innuendo and all of the naughtiness that the part that Mark played had, I then met the guy that played that part. I mean, I think I was absolutely hammered in a bar. And I remember talking to him and I was like, oh my God, that was incredible. And he just said, one of the joys of this show is he just said, being able to impro in musical theatre never happens. And so he just said he had for every show, Mark, it was, I never told you this, but I don't think I did, but it was exactly what you did. You found when you were doing the definitions of the words, you had to, depending on what the audience were doing, like judge which of the definitions to give in spelling.
Yeah, it was sort of like based off their capabilities.
Yeah, and depending which of the members of the audience came up. Yeah, and I thought it was going to be crap because it was like, when you write down the list of ingredients that make up this show, do you know what I mean? Let's not lie, it's not Les Mis. It's not really my cup of tea. It's a bit trite, it's a bit silly, it's a bit fun, it's a bit panto.
Yeah.
You know, not political, hard-hitting ensemble. And so, yeah, it really took, oh my God, I adored it. And then I did that classic thing of I shelved it. I just shelved it because things that I fall in love with when I go and see them, I'm like, that's mine. That was my memory. I don't want to recreate it. And then I saw it again, and it was on at the Donmar Warehouse. Mm-hmm. And Helen and I went together again, and we kind of like recreated and tried to recreate our Broadway experience. And then because of the Donmar Warehouse, the Donmar is like a tiny, like it's a seats about 120. You can never get a ticket for anything. Unless you're there with an agent, of course. And it's a tiny theatre. And unlike on Broadway, which it still felt a little bit too small as a show to fit the auditorium that I saw it in Broadway. But seeing it at the Donmar, I was like, oh, hang on. I think this has got Reigate Grammar School Concert Hall all over it. And so, yeah, and then I went, no, let's do it. And I just thought about that year group that we had at the time. And like all shows, you kind of have to guarantee that you know you can cast it. Not true, actually, of some things I've done. But, yeah, and I just thought, oh, my God, there are so many good character actors in the school at that time. And I hasten to add, it wasn't necessarily about the singing, because even though some of it, I don't know, Archie, it's not would you say it was a difficult sing?
Well, it wasn't. No, it definitely wasn't like the hardest thing. But yeah, there was like the harmonies, like were pretty hard at points, but actually we picked up quite easy, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just thought, and as ever, I was like, well, like, then that's why. That's a really long-winded answer, but I just loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it for a bit, saw it again, and then went, oh yeah, good. Yeah. Bit like.
And after that, did you sort of go into it with any specific ideas of how you'd want to stage it? Because I'd say you performed it quite close to how the original circumstances are if you look at the script.
Yes, Mark Jones, I did.
There's not much you can do with it, really, though, is there?
And that doesn't really usually excite me. But I'll tell you the reason why we picked a show actually at school that didn't involve messing with the given circumstances hugely is there were quite a lot of restrictions, because I think we did it after Brief Encounter, which was the Christmas show, and we couldn't get the set off the stage. We just didn't know what to do with it. We paid this money to hire somebody to build it, and it was like a bespoke project, and we paid a lot of money for this incredible archway that Miss Hare created, and then we just couldn't get it off the stage. So there were so many restrictions for the Easter show, and we just did it, I think, with 4th and 5th year, didn't we, that Easter? And also
there was third form in the ensemble, but yeah.
Oh, was it 3, 4, 3,
3, 4, 5, yeah.
The principal.
5. Okay, so it was like a middle school show. And so, yeah, weirdly, you actually have quite a lot of time in the autumn term at school to rehearse. I know it never feels like it, but you do, weirdly, even with that double week of October half term, because the autumn term is 13 weeks usually. Whereas once you came back after mocks in January, I think we literally shoved this together in about 6 weeks of rehearsal. It really wasn't wrong. So do you know what? The reason for some shows at school you can't mess with the given circumstances is not to do with kind of laziness or lack of inspiration. Yeah. Just because sometimes a time restriction is on there. And also, I don't think you could do it any other way other than Pross Arch end on. Exactly. Because like the comedy, the clocking, it's a bit like One Man, Two Governors. A lot of it's farce. A lot of it involves that kind of slightly panto, improvisatory quality. And I don't, the stuff that I love doing when I've got time and space, which is messing with stuff and changing the given circumstances, I just don't think I could do it. But we did mess with it a bit to accommodate students, because as ever, I mean, actually the original show has only got about 8 people in it because people double up. But we kind of added...
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh my God, Callum and Louise.
Yeah. Callum and Louisa, they weren't in it. And also there's not...
They weren't in it.
There's not ensemble either.
There's no ensemble, and I shoved those in. Yeah. Oh my God, JJ Stewart doing step will change step kick with Avish. Yeah, so we created an ensemble. We changed the gender of Tilly Riser's character as well. Yeah. So I think Mitch, isn't it?
Mitch Mahoney.
Mitch to Meg. We had.
Yeah. So what did we call her?
Meg Mahoney.
Meg.
Yeah.
And also I knew that would work because in an audience, and that's the thing, people think as well that we're like, oh, we've already cast it before we always do a show. And as I say, I knew that there were people in the school who could do it, but equally you never know who's going to audition. And in all fairness, Archie, you did say to me you weren't going to do this show.
Yeah, I remember emailing because I'd just done Brief Encounter the Christmas before.
And you were like, oh, I'm really tired.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't tired. Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know.
I can't do too much, said the person on their 400th show.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I emailed, and then you emailed.
So I convinced you to do it.
You emailed me, JJ, and Ed saying, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like, do you fancy doing an audition? Like, I can't remember. But it was.
Oh God! So I did. I begged you, basically.
Yeah, but I'm so glad I did.
Sometimes, but do you know what? I think it was because I taught you. There's that thing where it's sheer laziness on my part. Because if you know you've got funny boys, do you know what I mean? Then you're in. That show is done. You know, if you've got, and we did have, but I just didn't want. I guess there's still like a weird gender thing that goes on at school, and it's so frustrating still. But there is. Well, Archie, you can probably comment on this more knowledgeably than I can, both you and Mark, but there is still this desperately frustrating situation at school where boys think they can't sing, and also boys are fearful of musical theatre because they think it's gay. And it drives me absolutely nuts that boys in the school sometimes are forced to either choose a sport pathway or you're a creative. And it, both of you are absolute, shining examples of people who have kept up, do you know what I mean? Like football, ultimate, plus pursued like music stuff, plus pursued drama stuff. And it does bug me sometimes, actually. And a lot of parents not always, a lot of parents go, oh, well, I think he would audition if you asked him. And of course, I get that, it's a scary thing, particularly when you hit puberty, because you don't know what your vocal quality is going to do, and you don't know where it's going to go when you sing something, and you don't know what's going to happen when you actually try and kind of like say something out loud and sing it. But I'm so glad you did it, because it wasn't a sort of we had a good time. There we go.
Yeah, and
the basis of the show being like quite exciting and like sort of play around anyway, sort of didn't make it that matter that much if like the singing wasn't top standard or whatever.
No.
And also, you saw it in Les Mis last Christmas when we got the rugby boys involved doing In One Day More. They were prancing around the edge of the stage behind Sam Kelly, and then
you say prancing?
Yeah. When they came off stage, we were talking to them in the dressing room. They said it's like they want to do it. They loved it. So it's like, it's completely something that people do enjoy, and it's not because they do rugby they don't enjoy it. It's when they actually do end up doing it, they do enjoy it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I do think we work really hard. Like, I think people are quite scared of. I get one of the problems as well with like the sport drama clash. I don't know whether you agree with this, but I think because sometimes I choose to work on a Sunday and in holidays, I get that's a big ask. But it's weird because the reason I choose to do that is to try to recruit as many people as possible, because it's a Sunday, and I absolutely get that if people are playing, sport, or they've got church, or they've got time with families or whatever, that's difficult. But all you have to do is kind of just email and negotiate it. Do you know what I mean? I want everybody to be able to do lots of things. But yeah, I think that was my biggest regret, is that it still felt a bit like a girl show with the ensemble, and we kind of like accommodated that with loads of kind of like cheerleading numbers. But then I remember putting Casper was in a cheerleading outfit.
Yeah, he was a girl in that. That was
I definitely put him in a wig as a girl.
He had like the little.
He had pigtails.
Yeah.
I've been really unkind to that child.
He loves it. He loves it.
Quite a lot verging on abuse there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh God, fond memories. Yeah.
So of course, a key part of the rehearsal process is learning lines. In this game, we will be putting the memory of the cast to the test by asking them to finish some of their lines from the play. It will work by a host saying a line, and then the subsequent cast member will have to tell us what they say next.
Oh my God.
So we're going to start with Gwen. Okay, so, and also, you get extra points if you do it in like a good, American accent.
If you do it in character.
In character.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Gwen. Miss Peretti is not only one of Putnam County's top realtors, she's also a former spelling champ herself. Do you know what you say next, Gwen?
Gwen has no idea.
I have no idea.
She's not only one of Putnam County's top realtors, she's also a former spelling champ herself.
Give her a clue.
This is Mark. Mark's saying this.
I'm saying this line, and it's at the start of the play to address when you previously won.
Oh, do I say like 5 times? No.
Wrong. It's
Wrong.
third annual. Okay, Sophie. This is Rona. She says, "What brought you to the bee, dear?" Oh, I didn't do an American accent. Whatever. What brought you to the bee, dear?
I
It's a mode of transport. What mode of transport she's?
I
the bus. The bus.
Yeah.
Freddie, are you ready? Is Freddie ready?
Yeah, go on
Ready.
then.
Useless.
It is.
Okay, so this is
And
Jemima's
what?
part. Schwartzengruben there. Have you ever been in an underground gymnasium before?
I've never been. I didn't know the school had a gymnasium. We didn't have a gymnasium.
It's wrong.
No gym.
You had
What
it.
is it?
You started saying
You
it.
had
I've
it.
never
You
been in a
started
gymnasium before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no,
that's not what you said.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I said that.
I've
Rewind
never-
the footage.
I like
I don't know.
Okay, back to Gwen.
Okay.
You could keep. I need to do American accent. You could keep saying. Oh yeah. So sorry. What? This is Olive. You could keep saying what, but nobody would hear because the whole world would be silent.
My accent was awful on that line. I literally could never say it. I remember.
Oh
This
my
is quite a
God,
hard one. Mark, this is
Yeah,
hard.
this is your hardest one, Gwen. If you get
Is
this, very impressive.
So basically, you're not getting it.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
You still need to speak up, Mrs. Trafsky.
Oh,
That is
Yeah,
quite true.
pretty hard, Mark.
Yeah.
That's a
I have
disgusting.
to include some difficult questions.
Oh, this is a good one. So Sophie,
Mhm.
this is Barfay. Did you know that if you switch the first two vowels in William, it becomes William?
And if you switch the last two, it becomes Will-am. Is that right?
Yeah, we'll give you that.
Yeah, we'll give it.
Yeah,
It's
but if you
Will-aim.
switch the next two, then it's Will Aim. Yeah.
I
Oh
remember.
yeah.
Freddie,
Oh.
Well done.
I don't understand that, but
Freddie, this is Leaf
I
Coney Bear's
never
mum.
did. That was the one thing I never understood.
This is Leaf Coney Bear's mum. Oh, sweetheart, no, you came third, honey.
I love you, Mum.
It's not that.
I've got no idea
It's,
the line.
it's the reason why you're in the competition, even though you came third. What happened?
love you, Mum.
It's I know, but they just called and they said the person who came in first has to go to their bat mitzvah.
I was like,
How could you forget
remember that?
It's a
That was a
bat
whole
mitzvah.
paragraph. That was the line.
All right, back to Gwen for the final time. Right,
Okay.
this is Rona. So this is in a song. I see hope and possibility when the favorite loses 1, 2, 3.
That's my favourite moment of the bee.
Correct.
Winning.
Okay, Sophie.
Correct.
The words in the dictionary are the friends that I'll have forever.
What a sad little girl.
The next one's even sadder. Next line.
Big blue.
Okay, I'll try and sing it. Yes, I joke, but the words in the dictionary are the friends that I'll have forever.
Oh, it's in my song that I sang.
Yeah. That's the point.
Okay. Oh no, I can't remember. This will really annoy me. What is it?
Is it
More
about
than the
friends?
friends I have made in school.
No, I remember that.
Oh,
I expected you to get that. That's
Sophie.
disappointing.
Yeah, I thought I would. I remember the songs much better than lines. I don't know why I forgot that. But
Never mind. Okay, Freddie, come on. Let's end it on a good note. Come on. Okay, so this is in your song. They sell wrong. They say a bell can break your heart, but just not mine, since I opine.
I'm not that smart.
I think I know I'm smart.
I'm
He was wrong.
Freddie made them so
Freddie,
bad.
let the slide down.
Unlucky
Freddie.
Freddie. Freddie.
Oh,
Freddie
that's
barely
smart,
knew them at the
though.
time, let alone now.
That is true. Freddie didn't know them at the
I
time.
was
yeah.
close to getting all of them.
Yeah, but you didn't get any of them, did you?
I got the first one. I've never been in.
Letting down the team.
No, you didn't really, did you? You said, I have never had a gymnasium before. Quite different.
Yeah, 'cause it's hard to remember, man.
Right.
My character wasn't that smart, so
So you're in character. Fair enough.
Makes sense.
I'm in character. Yeah.
So as we know, there often comes a point in rehearsal where the actors will forget their lines. So for the final 3 points, we'll see whether Miss Branston can remember these lines. So Miss Branston, what's at the in the end scene? What does Leaf Coney Bear now have? So they go through each character. We're going through each character, and
Yes.
Coney Bear has. Oh
Parents.
no, wrong. It's cats.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Leaf Coney Bear has cats.
Oh, this was really bad. I hated this bit. We never.
What happened to Panch after he tirelessly courted Rona Peretti?
Oh, we got. Oh my god. I can't remember any of this. Does he get arrested?
Close.
Close.
Like, does he get a court order taken out on him?
Yes.
We'll give you that. A restraining order.
A restraining order. Yeah. God, that's so bad that I can't remember these. Yeah.
And then, final question. In the alternative Olive epilogue, so there were 2 Olive versions, weren't there, for the epilogue?
Yeah.
Remember, there was one that was really more, like, sad. And there was one that was
This is in the sad one. This is in the sad one.
What does she discover when she returns home?
Oh, her family aren't there. Her mum's gone. No.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
An
empty
empty
house.
Awful. Absolutely awful. No, that was too depressing.
Yeah, it was the final line of the show as well.
Yeah, it was really bad. We changed that, no?
Yeah,
we did it.
we did.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
that's just
reenacted,
awful.
She
she
reenacted.
reenacted the whole of the spelling bee for her dad in the car ride on the way back home.
Oh, yes.
That's better.
better. Much better.
In this section of the podcast, we will be discussing the show, opening with a discussion with our members of the cast. Right, so we'll start off with a nice little question. What were your favourite moments from the show? For example, mine was probably, I don't know, when Archie tripped up and hit his head. Hilarious.
I didn't find that very funny, personally.
I forgot.
That was so.
It's in the recording. And I'm like, it was on the last night. It was on the Saturday.
Oh, when we had Mr. Hare on as our special guest, and he got the word right and like ruined the whole thing. we were like, what do we do now?
Oh yeah, he was
it
too
was
good.
a really, really difficult word.
Yeah,
And
because
he got it right.
Oh yeah.
and he'd seen it on. He was like, oh, I just remembered it from some web page that I looked at once. And
Yeah, because
Like-
basically, because for those who don't know, we got like audience members to come and they did the spelling with us, and basically we'd have to like give them an easy one to then let them get it right, but then get them kicked off at some point because obviously they can't be there for the whole show. But then Mr. Hare, what did he just get one right? I don't remember that, but
Yeah, basically the final person, he would have been the final person in, and there was a really difficult spelling word, and because we assumed that the teacher or the audience member would just get that one wrong straight away, but he got it right, and then I had no more words to give him. So I made up a word and then said that.
Oh, that was so funny. That was good. Yeah, the audience participation in general was just, I think, the best part.
it's chaos sometimes though.
It's-
So, for
And
example,
some
like,
people were scared, and we didn't expect it, and then we kind of had to deal with it.
oh
And
yeah,
like,
yeah, and like on the last night, JJ and Ed McTavish's dad, they went together.
yeah.
And then basically they were like as a pair, so there was like no room on the benches because there's only tiny benches and it was squished enough as it was.
it was all sweaty, wasn't it?
Yeah. So then, and that was the same night where I'd hit my head. So all I wanted was like a bit of space. I was like half concussed almost. trying to still act normal.
Literally.
I fully landed on my head.
When was
It was a Saturday.
It's the start, right at the start of the show. He's like, let me
When
climb
was
onto
it in the
that
show?
bench.
It was in the first song, I think.
After the first number, yeah.
when we did the matinee and Archie had to sing the song for the little kids and he gave them the sweet and did they all just go like mental?
Yeah, because during the song I was like throwing sweets into the audience, and then it was just a matinee. It was full of primary school children, so I was just chucking. Then they were all like running around. It was crazy, and because it was about me having an erection, we had to change the lyrics. There's like a different version for like less mature audiences. Pardon?
What did you change the lyrics to?
No, there was one in the script they'd given you. It was like my unfortunate
Protuberance.
No, that was in the actual one. No, it wasn't. Unfocus. My unfortunate unfocus. Blame it on love's hocus pocus. That was it.
They weren't even listening. They just.
But anyway, no, I forgot it. So I was actually because I hadn't practiced it at all because it was show week. I don't have any time. So I went on stage. Well, I practiced it a little bit, but I didn't know it properly. Once I was in like autopilot, I just started like doing the normal one. So then I just started singing about an erection to all these primary school kids.
I used to love practicing the singing with Bernat. That was awesome.
Bernat.
That was just like we just like used to pick him out, didn't we? And he just loved it. That was so much fun.
And it's like goodbye, goodbye, bye, 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 goodbye.
God, and Mr. Carden, do you remember when he brought his children into one of the
he brought them
they
to
were like
Yeah.
along and singing along and they were like, wee!
Yeah.
They were like,
So cute.
it was so adorable.
Yeah.
I used to love playing with Miss Branston's dog as well, Lucky.
Oh, that was when she first got it as well. Spelling Bee was like when she first got it.
So cute. And when we realised that Callum could do a Jamaican accent, I mean, it's like...
We had the Jamaican Jesus.
It's actually pretty effective, isn't it? But we had...
Yeah. And we were going to have Callum doing Jamaican Jesus on like a hoverboard as well. Do you remember? That never happened.
That's so stupid. It's the most stupid thing to come in.
In terms of, Sophie's already said Pandemonium was one of her favourite parts of the actual show. What songs do you think were probably your favourite to do in terms of like whole ensemble?
I don't remember them. I like the opening number actually.
Yeah, I like the opening number.
I like the and Pandemonium. They're my faves.
When we all come in, that was quite fun.
Yeah, because like people would slowly start coming in. Like,
yeah, that was nice.
Like it started with just Gwen and Mark, and then I came on, and then more people came on, and it was like slowly building. It was cool.
Also, the last song was just so dramatic, and like Sophie and Alex, and like.
You did like the ballet scene.
Oh yeah.
You were so cute. And, like,
You did like a ballet thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. The singing on that one was actually so good. Like, it was pretty hard, and I thought we did quite a good job with all the.
We did with all the harmonies.
The belt harmonies. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that last number was fun actually.
Yeah.
It was really long as well. I remember like listening to it on the soundtrack of the Broadway production. It's like a 7-minute song. Yeah.
Yeah. I also just love Freddie's song in general. I know
Yeah,
it's
I
not
like Freddie's songs.
Cool.
I thought the costumes were cool as well. Everyone had cool costumes.
Yeah.
What, my bright yellow dress? Mm.
Your yellow dress. Oh my god, and Gwen, you couldn't do one of the numbers, could you? And Freya had to come on.
On the nights.
Yeah.
One of the nights, yeah.
I didn't do like 2 or 3 of them. I remember one night I sat in the audience.
It wasn't 3, was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, I remember because you were better, and because you got better. But then Freya still did a couple of nights just because she learnt it all, so they let her do more.
I learned it all and stuff, so they were like, "Oh, let's give her one more show." So I remember sitting in the audience, and Miss Branston was like, "Gwen, go into the costume thing and just get a random costume." So I remember just picking out these like American leggings, and it was just the ugliest outfit, but it was great. I just got to watch the show.
We should have had you as like an audience member.
Yeah.
Come on, that'd be funny.
But yeah, that was weird. It was weird watching it, but it was really funny.
What were your sort of favourite memories from the actual whole sort of rehearsal process and show? because I know specifically that this was one of my favourite shows to do in terms of like the main ensemble, and that
Oh my
was
God, but
amazing.
Mark, I don't think you had any rehearsal. I'm not being funny. I think I said, there's the script, see you at the tech, didn't I?
I was just there most of the time. I sat in rehearsal with the words, and then would just go through all the spelling cards, and then just wait for my individual line in the middle of like Life is Pandemonium or something.
Yeah, I think the really hard thing about this is if you don't know the show, that I don't know. Do you want to explain? Because that's really hard to understand it if you don't know the show. Do you know what I mean? Like what the premise is of the person. Because if you don't know what the spelling, an American spelling bee is, or you haven't seen it, you know, it really falls a bit flat. And that was my worry, that a British audience weren't going to get something that was so American. Do you know what I mean? But I think they did, because I think there's that kind of that British thing about we feel slightly superior to the American.
Yeah, it's like laughing at the middle of it. That's part of
it. We kind of go, oh well, they're American, they're a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry to my gay grandma that's from the States. Ruby Rollison, I'm really sorry. Yeah, but there is that kind of, there's that thing where like these cookie American people, these little stereotypes. And I think the reason it went down so well in the UK was because, you've got that slight sense of superiority. So I remember, I've got so many hilarious memories. I think one of the worst things was I remember trying to get the entire company together, as is my wont, to go like, right, let's get some team bonding in. Let's really come together as an ensemble. Let's pull together. And I think it was the last day of the Christmas term, was it?
Yeah, I do remember that. It was in the sports hall as well, wasn't it?
It was chaos, because I think they were doing a get out for final assembly. I think I was determined to do a sing through. It was an absolute disaster, and I think I tried to choreograph a number in the middle of the sports hall.
Did magic foot in the sports hall, yeah.
Tried to keep Alex Maroney's brain engaged, which didn't work for longer than ever for a 10-minute slot. That was an appalling rehearsal. I'd like to confess that now. The aim was very clear, the outcome was a catastrophe.
Yeah.
I remember one of my favourite rehearsals was actually sandwiched in the music block outside a locker, because we've never got any space anywhere at school. So you always rehearse in really weird moments. And I remember Katie Howe, Casper, and all of the cheerleaders, like in Magic Foot, like choreographing that, but in a space with like 8 of them, about sort of just in the music corridor. Don't know why we did that. Slightly weird. Okay, we did have a catastrophe with Gwen. We never bother with an understudy at school because no one's ever ill. Gwen was really ill. And McTavish just stepped up, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. That was like the start of the McTavish ambition. It was like, okay, which person in the ensemble most wants this role? And actually, that was an amazing example where if you love, do you know what I mean, like musical theatre or any play, and you're like sitting in rehearsal, watching and observing, it was incredible because Freya, she knew it. She knew the track.
Yeah.
You lot are incredible that way. You can just pick up stuff and step in because you're really observant and you care. And so that was amazing actually that Freya did that and fitted a costume. Bizarre. I think Callum just made me wet myself every night.
Because he was just like reacting to everything. Because I didn't notice in the actual thing, but when I watched it back, I was just watching him reacting to everything with his, his massive like kind of slapstick like emotion. It's
with a mop.
His role was made anyway, just for our show, so he could literally
he could do what he wants. Yeah,
do whatever he wanted.
Oh yeah, but that was because you see, Callum did a really good audition, and I know no one believes me, but if you surprise us in an audition, or you offer something, or you bring something into an audition, we will always try and accommodate it. Because if you've worked your nuts off, preparing something, and it just takes us by surprise, it's amazing. And so Callum did the most phenomenal audition, and I'd worked with him on Annie. Was that 2 years before, 3 years before? I can't remember.
2 years.
too. And I knew Callum was a little bit of a comedy genius as well, and you could sort of trust him with a bit of improv. And so I had absolutely no qualms about getting Callum to do that. He was great. He was a great little comic genius, actually, was Callum. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, Sophie and Alex Moroney were great, though. That was really sweet. That's kind of like a bit of chemistry casting, because they were really good mates. And so I think that, Archie, would you agree? I think that really helped, because they've been really good buds for years. So that
and they ended up being the last spellers and having a bit of a love story as well. So that helped. Like, because with the other spellers, we all kind of slowly like went away, and then they were left together. Do you know what I mean? So it became more about those two towards the end. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, how lucky am I to have Jones's like full impro genius?
Yeah.
That was off the back of Much Ado, and that was, do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, right, Jones is a little bit of a creative comic genius here as well. So to be able to like just let Mark play, do you know what I mean? With that, I mean, it's quite scary, because you're like, okay, I've just handed over control completely to you.
Yeah.
Like, you had to, because I just had to trust you completely to run the show. Because if there anybody, do you know, I remember the night that, sorry, oh my God, can you tell I'm not in a classroom? This is going to take 5 minutes. This is going to be the longest podcast in the history of humanity. Because we're in lockdown.
Yeah, nothing better to do.
But I've got to go and oil a bench, Archie.
Oh, sorry. I should have known.
You know what I mean? And I've got to weed the garden today. There's a lot of priorities, actually. I'm in a garden. I've got a garden. Yeah, just bragging there. Yeah, I tell you what really annoyed me. This is going to go down really badly with McTavish, Mr. McTavish, with Ed's dad. And I think it might have been JJ's dad.
Yeah, it was
really
two of them put together.
Interesting thing. Yes, it was a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
It was the audience picking that was actually difficult to know who would do well on it. Because I know one show, it went really, really well, and all the audience participants were just like on point. But like in that one specifically, I think we didn't pick before because people who promised they'd do it weren't actually in the audience. So we were stuck in that situation where we were like looking out into the audience, trying to find people who would possibly come up.
And of course, as ever, there's something about because to get the show really sparkly, I think there was a stage direction, Mark. There was a whole page of advice, wasn't there, in the script that said about how to choose people wisely.
Yeah.
And what we never wanted were people whose okay, this is bad, but like when you pick up a wannabe performer, it never worked. So I remember JJ and Ed's dads suddenly thinking they were literally doing an Olivier award-winning show, and like inner actor meant that they were trying so hard to be funny, but of course it just wasn't funny. And what we needed was somebody who is blissfully unaware, do you know what I mean, of how funny they were, if that makes sense. And I remember that and being really interested as well about the craft of comedy and when stuff landed as well. Also, it was a really weird start to that second half, because I don't think like that song of Archie's was always a really weird start to the second half, because actually I don't think you should take an interval in the show. I mean, I know it's written in there, but it almost doesn't need it. I reckon we could have run it at an hour and a half and it would have been okay. But yeah, no, it was really good. And it's just one of those really quirky, fun little hidden gems that no one knew. And I tell you what, it's totally the kind of thing that you lot should go and direct at uni, because it's really manageable. Do you know what I mean? As a show.
Yeah.
Like join a society, do it, get it on, because it's actually really easy, because it's a reliance on like monos, duos, trios, little bit of difficult close harmony, Arch. I get that.
Yeah.
But flexible bit of casting, and it's pretty indestructible as well, actually. Like the script, the book itself is so good. Was it hard to, I don't, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think. See, the trouble is Maroney ends up stealing stuff, doesn't he? It's just that number is extraordinary. Magic Foot is an extraordinary number.
You get the whole ensemble up on stage, and that's the big.
Really? Did I put the whole ensemble in a number that isn't necessary? Why do I make my life so hard?
That made it more special. Plus, the ensemble had to get up on stage at some point, and they were all on the benches the whole time.
Oh, what? That was awful. Not only have I not cast you in a lead, I've made you stay on stage the whole time. That's another forte of mine. Could you give up every single Sunday to not take the final bow? Great. It was a really great show. I loved it. It was really good fun.
It seems appropriate to base our second round on the spelling bee itself by hosting our very own. In this round, Archie will be joining the cast as Chip Tolentino, winner of the 24th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. I'm gonna host this show. Pop on a jacket.
Lovely.
Right.
Oh wow, look at that.
Very nice, Mark.
The hoodie jacket combo is really working.
Here's my bow. Right, so I'd like to point out before we get started, don't ask for the language of origin because I don't know. Genuinely.
You can ask the definition in a sentence though.
Yeah, I'd like all of you to ask for definition and sentence because I've put my time and effort into this game, and it'll be shame. So each of you will get 3 words: 1 moderate, 1 conniving, and 1 super devious. And
super devious.
And for each word, you'll score a point that goes towards the barn door score at the end of the whole show. Right, I'm going to do my character as Douglas Panch, everyone's favourite host. Starting with Olive Ostrovsky. Seeing as your name is Olive, I decided to table all your words as types of olive. So enjoy. Your first word, the moderate word, is Gordle.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Can I please have a definition?
A table olive from Seville, named the fat one because of its largeness.
May I have it in a sentence?
Oh, Gordle, my queen, the queen of my olives. That's your sentence. Please may you spell Gordle.
G-O-R-D-O. Yay?
It's spelled G-O-R-D-A-L. Unlucky there.
Oh, I couldn't. Do you know what? I actually blamed that on Zoom. I thought it was Gordo. You were asking me to actually.
Sure, that's what. Yeah, sure.
Putting that one out there, but okay,
Right.
I'll take it.
For Gwen, seeing as your character, Rona Lisa Peretti, was the top realtor in Putnam County, we have given you questions based off realtors' words, including all the words to do with real estate in America. Your first word is landowner.
Definition.
A person who owns a plot of land, often exceeding an acre.
And use in a sentence.
The landowner who owns no land is not a landowner, but a land loaner. Please may you spell landowner.
L-A-N-D-O-N. Oh my God.
Gwen, come on.
O-N.
Unfortunately, the correct spelling is L-A-N-D-O-W-N-E-R.
Wow.
Unlucky.
I tried.
Right. Leaf Coney Bear, or rather Freddy.
Yep.
In the show, you were given large rodents as your category of words, if you seem to remember capybara.
Yeah.
For this one, I will also be doing large rodents, so hopefully you remember from last time. Your first one is nutria.
Have a definition.
Herbivorous, burrow-dwelling, semi-aquatic rodent native to South America.
Sentence.
The nutria has long been a victim of fur farming.
Okay. Newtreea. New tree with an A. Nutria.
It's Nutria.
This is not going well so far, guys.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Me and Freddie have been done dirty compared to Gwen.
Yeah, landowner.
That's a joke.
Right.
I had a mind blank. I had like a blockage. Okay.
Landowner
Nutria.
was not bad. That was an easy word.
Gordon wasn't that bad.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
Nutria was definitely the hardest. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hang on.
okay.
What am I gonna get? Hang on.
Archie, seeing as you had an erection in the show, your
Oh,
words will
God.
be based off puberty.
Oh,
So,
disgusting.
starting off with fetal,
Can I have a definition, please?
relating to the fetus.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
When he slept, Richard slept in a fetal position to remind him of the good old days.
Okay. Fetal. Foetal. Fetal.
That is correct. Well
Let's
done.
go. Yes.
I would've got
Finally, some
First
points on
word
the board.
I would have got that wrong as well.
that.
Right.
I thought it was FETAL.
You did biology, Freddie. You did biology.
Yeah, I thought it was
I did
FETAL.
biology at uni as well.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Yeah, nothing with
Sophie,
feet, so.
your conniving word is malot,
Okay. Definition, please.
an Eastern Mediterranean olive with a fruitiness that lends to its use in oils.
Can I have it in a sentence, please?
Upon the salad of spinach and shallot, there is dispensed
Salad.
the oil of malot.
Malot. MALLOT.
Unfortunately, it's MAALOT.
Gwen's gonna get something like king or something like that. Something you could make easy.
Right.
Life is pandemonium, Sophie.
Yeah.
I'm getting into this now. I'm getting
Right.
triggered.
Gwen, your second word is repossession.
Okay. Can I have a definition?
The act of taking back a possession.
And in a sentence?
The youngest bear said to Goldilocks, "Give me back my porridge." He tore out her stomach in a beautiful act of repossession.
Okay. REPOSSESSION.
No, unfortunately, it's REPOSSESSION.
Oh,
Missed out on
That's
one
quite
letter there.
tricky. I don't think
You
I
know what?
there's a lot of like double S's and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a conniving word. It's not easy.
That's why it's in the conniving section, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah. Right. Freddie, your word is gopher.
Okay. Can I have a definition, please?
An extensive burrower that leaves dead plants in its wake.
Sentence.
Donald Dawkins was a gopher who'd watch the earth from his sofa.
Right. GOOTHUR.
Unfortunately, that is wrong. The correct spelling is GOPHER. Gopher.
You went double O.
Yeah, because I thought it'd be a weird spelling thing. But
I'm not gonna lie. You guys aren't particularly great at spelling.
Barn door score is gonna be.
Right. Archie, your second word is prepubescent.
Oh, it's hard. Okay. Can I have it in definition, please?
The period before a child starts to develop adult sexual characteristics.
Can I use it in a sentence, please?
Of course, the prepubescent period is one of the most tender sections of one's life.
A topic I'm all too familiar with. That's actually a quote from the show as well, Mark, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Right, prepubescent. Right. PREPUBS. Oh, ES. Oh, damn it.
Unfortunately, it's PREPUBESCENT.
Oh, I would have got that if I. Oh,
Do you
never
know what?
mind.
It's actually a lot harder than if you can't write it out. It's
Yeah, well, you can't do that in spelling bee, Sophie. So
Oh, you're not allowed to write out.
Use your magic foot. Write it on the floor.
Oh,
yeah, if you want to do that, you
what is
can.
the other one?
Wait, Freddie's cheating.
I'm trying to write them out and I'm getting them wrong.
Right.
He's still getting wrong
Sophie,
today. Yeah.
your super devious word and final word is thrombolia.
Okay, thrombolia.
Yeah.
Definition, please.
A dual-purpose cultivar for oil and table olives, originating in the hills of Greece.
And a sentence?
Please, could you pass the thrombolia?
Okay, thrombolia. Okay. THRUMBOLIA.
Unfortunately, you were one letter off. It's
Oh.
THROUMBOLIA.
Throom.
Oh, room. Okay.
I'll tell you what. People who are one letter off can probably get a half point because you've done really badly.
Thanks, Mark.
Right. When your final word on real estate is gesundering.
Sorry?
Gesundering.
That's made up.
No,
You made up
real
that one.
word, gesundering.
Okay, definition.
Demanding a reduction of the price you have previously agreed to pay for a house.
And in a sentence.
There was a large outbreak of gesundering in Cornwall in the late 1940s.
Okay.
Gesundering.
G O O. Is it you? G U.
No, GAZUNDRING.
Gasundering.
Gazundering.
I blame your pronunciation or
I
pronunciation.
did say it.
Mark's getting a lot of
multiple
hate here. Hang on.
times.
You said gesundering.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Guz. Guz.
It's a gap.
Right, there's still hope in Freddie. Come on.
It's hard in the American. Freddie,
Whatever.
if you get this word, everyone
Okay.
will. You'll get full points for this
Right.
round if you get this word.
Yeah.
Go on.
Right.
Capybara.
Your word is Josephoartigasia.
Say that again.
Josephoartigasia.
Say it again.
Like a definition.
Yes.
The largest known rodent that existed in the prehistoric period. It resembles a supersized capybara with unique interior sizers.
That is terrifying.
Sentence.
With a skull as big as a cow, the Josephoartigasia is a truly extraordinary animal. Wow.
Okay. JOESEPHO ART
Unfortunately,
Random letters.
unfortunately, it's spelled JOSEPHOR. Oh, I can't even read properly.
That's
You got it.
Joseph.
You got it wrong.
Joseph Art Ogasia.
Josepho.
Josephoartigasia.
Yeah,
So
Joseph.
you went
Art-
JOE.
Yeah, you spelled
Nah,
Joseph.
that's fair. Oh.
You may as well have Joseph because you spelled Joseph wrong.
Right. The final word and the most devious of them all.
Oh God.
Egg.
Can I have a definition, please?
The oval object with a hard shell, yolk, and white.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
Egg, egg. Egg, egg. Egg. Said the egg box packaging.
Egg. EGG.
That is correct. Well done.
Brilliant.
Freddie.
What?
Yeah,
Thanks,
that's the
Mark.
end of the spelling bee.
Wow.
I'm
Well,
not gonna lie,
Egg.
that was
I've got
atrocious.
impossible words
I
though,
thought you'd be
man.
better.
That was awful.
Ah.
Actually.
Wow.
we've let the side down. So thank you to Sophie, Gwen, and Freddie who came on the podcast this week. We had so much fun. And this was their barn door score, just there. That is what they got, and here is the leaderboard. Obviously, there are no other shows on the leaderboard as of yet, but as we do more, then we'll start to get more of a leaderboard, and we can see who has the highest barn door score. And maybe the highest barn door score might even win something from us. So we'll see.
And that's it. We'll be closing the barn doors for this week's show, ready for our next instalment, Macbeth.
Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. See you later.
Skaboodle, skatoodle.
Lovely.